the first round of the tournament.
Yes, and we have, compared to other races,
Oh, we're
a
off.
bit
We're off. We're going. We're going.
even match. Ball has a 121.40 as a PB, and Hivemind has a 127.39. That might seem like a lot of time, 7 minutes, but that's could be amount to a single mistake or maybe 2 mistakes in a row. So it's not a huge difference. So we're off. I'm actually don't know which routes they're gonna do, so we're gonna play a little game which is like figure out what they're doing.
Yeah. Well, can we do predictions? Can we guess? I think that Hivemind's going to do pyromancy only.
Really?
I could be
would-
wrong.
But it cannot be. He started with a hunter.
Oh, no, that's it. My prediction is ruined. This prediction is ruined. That's it.
Okay, so that's $20 for me.
Wait, what? I never agreed to this.
Yeah.
So both runners are going with the hunter start, and both are, I assume, are taking the master key. Yeah, nobody's got black fire bombs, so there'll be no Blighttown skip shenanigans in these runs, which is probably a good thing because I don't actually think it really saves time RTA wise.
No, you save time. I mean, you do save time, but you save time on a faster asylum, on a faster killing the. You don't have to pick up the bombs if you're sniping the undead merchant in the board.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like saves about total like 17 seconds, something like that, if I recall. But it's just not on the rail to Blighttown itself, like things that you do with the bombs.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And just so you guys know, we're looking. I believe Milt's looking at chat as well. I'm looking at chat as well. And if you've got any questions, you can just ask, and we'll try and answer them for the run. I think Bolt's actually doing his. Is it Draker Mage? He calls it.
Really?
Which is
it's been fun to follow custom routes. We had a lot of fun with that one, with the Comfy Mage. Just
that looks great. Just the ONS fight, short Ornstein, absolutely amazing. But yeah, this Bolt's route is basically getting the Dragon Tooth and then going straight into sorcery like Soul Spears and all these kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. So both players not really having any issues with Asylum, which is good. Bolt should clean this up pretty well. Yep, he got it before Bolt, the Asylum Demon was able to fly into the air. Hivemind going with the IGT strat of quitting out of the door.
I think that's just pure muscle memory.
Yep, absolutely.
Maybe he's going for a PV, who knows? Maybe he's going for a PV, for his own personal PV and taking advantage of IGT.
Oh, that's true.
And Bolt is enjoying the scenery for some reason.
Yep.
I hope nothing major is happening.
Bolt's just looking at his character, admiring the hair.
Maybe the cat jump on his lap. It's always a thing with speedrunners.
Okay, I think he's okay. Just had to. Not sure what he did.
It's like maybe a breath of fresh air.
Yep. Maybe he was tired after fighting the Asylum Demon and just needed to rest.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be tiring though, right? Like giant mass of fat and everything.
Yep, that's true. And he's going to be running a lot, so that's going to be very tiring as well. So he needs to conserve his energy as much as possible.
I fail reminding us that PBs do happen during races.
Yes, I may have PB'd in this in the tournament already.
Yeah, and I feel I got like a 9-minute PB as well.
Yeah, he did. He did.
That was pretty nice.
Yep, so it looks like Bolt picked up the fire bombs in Asylum, in Asylum Firelink. I think Hivemind did too, did he? No, he didn't.
No,
actually.
he just went to the merchant and he got the bottom of the box, so we know he's doing a quantity storage. Jumping hollows, always so nice to see. Absolutely. They can curve in the air and home on you, as normal people can do, of course. Oh, there was one. Both of them jumping. And another jump. This seeded AI.
My favorite is when my character jumps and then all the hollows start jumping as well, like they're joining in. It looks like Bolt's having some audio issues, so he's going to restart his game, which is massive RTA time loss, unfortunately. But it shouldn't matter too much. Like he can easily catch up.
This is why you need a 9/7 and SSDs to run this game.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
You never know when you're gonna join a tournament, and it might help.
That's true. I think Hivemind's going to be going for the Dragon Tooth +5 route with the buying the bottomless box and the throwing knives. It looks like the start of that.
It does seem like it.
But who knows? He could go for something incredibly new and refreshing, like spear all bosses or something. Which, in fairness, if somebody did spear all bosses or even like bow all bosses in this tournament, would get my love forever for being absolutely incredibly ballsy.
Hivemind having no troubles with Taros Demon. If you're two-handing your sword, he staggers on 4 hits, which is not hard to do, and Gold Point Racing gives you the damage you need, because he's kind of tanky if you're just if you have nothing. But Gold Point Racing gives you a flat 150 damage to lightning.
Oh god,
You're
Bolt
gonna
having a
smack
bit
him
of an
up.
issue there.
Ooh, jeez, yeah.
Okay, yeah. He should be okay. He should be able to heal up.
Lower at the board, such a nice area, full of nice enemies that bleed you and stagger you really fast, especially when you have no poise.
Absolutely, and yep. It's always a wonderful place to be, and it looks like Bolt's going for the mail breaker that's in this room with the thief. He got it that time, no issues. The only problem with grabbing the mail breaker in kind of the tournament setting is because you have to do a lot of quit outs, and that can lose a lot of time RTA.
Yeah, it's about 6 seconds if I recall. With every loading screen, 6, 7
Well, it depends
seconds.
how good your supercomputer is as well.
Of course.
Tournaments
Pay
are
to win,
clearly pay
boys.
to win. Yep.
So both players picked up thrusting weapon. Hivemind bought a rapier, and Bolt picked up the mail breaker that's gonna be used for the move swap glitch, which allows you to use one weapon with the moveset of another. And thrusting weapons are really good because you get a running attack that hits twice. They're gonna use a gigantic weapon with that, so they're gonna do massive damage, which is cheating.
We call that Miyazaki magic, though.
Oh, of course, Miyazaki magic,
Yes,
which is
that's the
cheating. We're gonna see a lot of Miyazaki magic though.
And you'll notice that neither player is using DS Fix.
Yeah, because they don't know better. It's such a sad thing.
Yeah, whatever you say. So Hivemind's going to grab the Undead Parish Bonfire. It looks like he's going to be going for either Gargoyles right now, or probably Sensgate Skip first. And coming back to Gargoyles later, if he's doing DT plus 5. Bolt actually did free Griggs in Lower Undeadburg, and he'll be using that to pick up a couple of spells. I'm not sure if he's going to be getting Great Heavy Soul Arrow with that. Maybe just Fall Control. Because I think he will free Logan later on as well.
Oh, for the Soul Spears, right.
Yeah, they are running different routes, so that's always interesting and confusing, because at one point in the game it'll be kind of difficult to tell who's ahead unless somebody has a lot of deaths or large mistakes. So, yeah. I think Bolt's a little bit behind just now just because he had to restart his game, unfortunately. But he'll be able to catch up in no time. Because Sorcery does a lot of damage late game, especially. So does DT plus 5, but I think the Sorcery has some faster fights, especially with Dark Bead, if he gets it. Because Dark Bead's kind of a good spell. It's okay. It's okay. I'm waiting for them to remove it in the remaster, to be honest.
It's like fixing previous developers' mistakes.
And so Hivemind used that move swap glitch that Milt talked about earlier, and he's using the Drake Sword with the running attack of the Rapier to basically hit these gargoyles more or less twice in every running attack. Bit of a scary fight here for Hivemind.
Yeah, Lord of Fire.
Lot of fire. At least I get my pyromancy after all. Okay, Hivemind should be able to clear this up right now. He managed to kill the first gargoyle. And,
Whoa,
there
that
we go.
whiff.
That whiff is not good.
Because that's not even his fault. It's just a tiny elevation difference that makes things like that happen.
Oh, we've all done that many times. And Bolt's going to head over to take the Undead Parish Bonfire. So Hivemind is killing gargoyles early.
Yeah.
A lot of some DT routes could do Sensgate Skip first.
Yeah, it doesn't really save you that much time, except when the fight goes a bit messy.
Yeah.
He might want the souls. I'm not entirely sure yet. Or maybe he's just to clear the road and just have something done already.
Yeah, he might feel better with having the gargoyles killed already. Yeah, that's those guys done. And it looks like Hivemind's going to go down and go get RTSR, so no ESM.
It could even be a muscle memory thing, though. I know when they change routes, sometimes I do the same order I did before, just because it's like, oh, if no, I'm going to forget later.
Yeah. So hivemind purchases the smith box, which he'll use to upgrade his presumed dragon tooth later on, and 999 wooden arrows, which will be used for the quantity story glitch a bit later. And Bolt's heading up to Gargoyles right now. I'm going to send up the elevator, which he will use. I'm not actually sure when he'll use that in the run. That could be a lot later he uses that, maybe even after DLC. To go up to Stray a bit faster.
Color room, always so nice.
Yep, I was just thinking that.
There's a lot of the. I keep forgetting that we have to talk like no one knows the game, even though there's like a lot of people that know the game here. But ooh, I thought Ivan was going to die with that. It's like, so he's fine. Yeah, the thing is that if you're falling and you do slide off a platform and continue going down, basically the game doesn't count you touching the platform. It counts the damage like if you went straight down to where you actually landed, and you can receive a huge amount of damage sometimes.
Oh god, this is a very scary Black Knight. Yeah,
Okay,
quit out.
Quit out.
That's...
When in doubt, quit out. That's the motto of Dark Souls runs.
Yep.
It
Pretty much
resets
every
your.
single Dark Souls run.
It's in Dark Souls 2.
What
They
game?
actually fixed that on Dark Souls 2.
Yep.
If you quit out, enemy positions get reset. They go back to the default spawns, and so you're mostly fine. If you can quit out in time, you can even prevent death. Everything goes back to normal. The thing with Dark Souls, though, speedrunning, is that it's not as much. It's not an RNG free game, if you guys have noticed, the ones I've been following these races. But it's not completely random either. So a lot of the learning process happens on learning responses from mobs and bosses and be ready for them. So you're not learning just one moveset, you're learning all their moves, all their responses, all their timing. That can take a bit of time. But once
but
you're
even
there,
after a long time, like I've had times where enemies have surprised me.
yeah, you can have things that like the whole I've never seen that before happens at least a month for every person running this game.
So Hivemind's climbing the long ladder where every speedrunner will probably take a drink of water or something on it while they're waiting to climb this ladder, because ladders are long and kind of boring. But it's a good chance to kind of get a small break while holding forward. And he's picked up the RTSR and he's boned back, and he's going to do something called the Sensgate skip. Now the Sensgate skip, as the name implies, allows you to skip the Sensgate and get straight into the Sense Fortress, because in Dark Souls you have to ring both bells of Awakening to unlock the gate. However, this glitch was found... How long ago was this found?
December 2000, 2 years ago.
Yeah,
16,
so... Yeah, 2016. So he's going to parry and riposte this guy, and he's going to get into a death cam where he sort of steps back, which is why his camera's kind of messed up right now. So the game kind of thinks he's dead, but he's not. So he's able to sort of run over to Sense Fortress, and because the game thinks he's kind of dead, it's going to deload the gate, and he'll be able to basically run straight through it, and reload his game and appear back in Sense Fortress, or appear in Sense Fortress without having to run the Bells of Awakening, which is always always handy.
Yeah, this means that you don't have to go to Blyton twice. You only get once, and you save about a minute and 10 seconds or something like that, just by not having to go there twice. Maybe less, actually. Now, Bolt also going for Red Tier Stone. This is a thing that you might or might not see depending on the newer routes. There was recently a glitch found it's called flexing, that lets you have one item
equips it
without having the item.
Manipulation.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Basically, you let the game think that you have a different item just because the ID numbers match on the database. So you equip the red substone on the ring slot by using dark magic, and the game thinks you have a RTSR. Pretty neat.
Yeah, it's kind of handy too. Bolt going for the arrow strats in the hollow, which is a bit trickier than it actually looks.
And it does save quite a bit of time. It's actually not a minor thing. It saves about 5-6 seconds.
Yeah, he actually got it as well. That's really good, and he's going for the Sens Gate skip as well, like Hivemind did earlier. And again, the only reason Bolt is actually behind is because he had to more or less restart his game.
Yeah.
So it is technically relatively even apart from that. But we still have a long way to go before we start counting our chickens yet.
Yeah, Haiban getting intentionally attacked by that arrow, even getting instability damage, that's called. It's when you are in the middle of an animation, either attacking or running, you get bonus damage. I forgot how much extra damage, I think something like 20-25%.
I'm not gonna lie,
To set
I have
up
no
the
idea.
red, yeah, I don't remember. The red Tiersten ring, which increases your attack by 50% while you're under 20% health. So it's like the perfect risk versus reward mechanic, which I don't know why they ruined it on the next games, but it's perfect. You get basically on one-shot range, but you do a lot of damage.
So it looks like Hivemind's going to use a quantity storage glitch here to buy green blossoms. I thought he was going to buy titanite shards for a second there. I got really confused.
Yeah, he has to go into basically what he's doing is if you guys saw it, he went to drop arrows. He didn't really drop them, but when you do that, the game stores that number, and then he's using that number to buy or sell things instead of the actual amount he carries. So instead of buying one blossom, he ended up buying 999, and the game does not really care if you have the money for it. It just cares about the number.
Yeah, basically the value that's been stored.
So there he are, 999 blossoms. It will go back to 99, which is like the max normal number, once he uses one.
And hopefully 99 is enough to complete the route. Well, one would hope that would be enough. It might not be.
If he uses one every minute, he should be fine. Actually, he can do that, and it should last.
How long do they last? The
1 minute. So
God.
he uses one every time he runs out, and he should still be fine.
So yeah, Hivemind's going to be killing Golem here with the Drake Sword, and he's going to use the move swap glitch, and he'll do 2 running attacks to stagger the Golem, which was a bit late on that second one, so this should work.
Okay.
No, it's not going to work out. Unfortunately, what basically happens is if you attack the Golem, I can't remember the exact values.
I think it's
below a certain. How much? Sorry.
But it should be 200 damage. Should be on the legs. You have to hit him below the knee.
Yeah, below the knee. And he will end up staggering. And if you get the right angle and Golem at the right angle, you can actually make him fall off, and he more or less insta dies. Apart from the amount of time it takes to stagger him and then hit him again. And something we didn't talk about was Bolt actually freed Logan from Sense Fortress, who will subsequently move back to Firelink, and that means the Bolt can go to him later and buy some spells off him. Presumably Soul Spear and Homing Soul Mass. Presumably. I mean, he might buy something else like, I don't know, Magic Shield or whatever. Yeah, why not, you know? You can get hit by magic in this game.
Waiting to be surprised.
Yeah, exactly.
It's some crazy strats, crazy RTA strats.
I'm not gonna lie, it's something I would be pretty happy about if somebody actually did that. So yeah, Bolt's going to do the exact same thing as Hivemind did. Hopefully he can get his second attack maybe a bit quicker in to get the stagger off on Golem, and we'll be able to more or less get a demonstration of the Golem stagger. So here comes the second attack, and that angle looks alright. Yep, that Golem's going to be falling off. He's not going to look at it.
Really fast.
Cool guys don't look at Golem falling off, so he's just going to keep running forward and head over to Anorlondo. Did Hivemind take the bonfire? I think he did. Did he? Yeah, he did. He has 10 Estus flasks. He took the bonfire.
Yeah, he took the bonfire. You need that bonfire to get access or quick access to the Duke's archives to get to Seath later. And there is 2 ways to get to that. You either mark the bonfire now, or you can also, well, actually 3 ways. You can also finish the painted world, and once you finish the painted world, your bonfire will set automatically to this one. So even if you didn't mark it, you will be sent here. Or if you die in Twilight and Orlando, you will also be sent to this bonfire.
I'm not gonna lie, Mill. I was about to say like only two ways. There is a third. And I was hoping I would know something you didn't know, but it didn't happen. One of these days, I'll figure out something, and you'll be like, "Oh, I didn't know that," and I'll be so happy.
All the stuff I know is not like things that you learn with just playing the game normally. Really, speedrun tech, I'm super behind.
Who plays this game normally, please?
Um,
Look who's talking. Something we actually haven't talked about either is Bolt's actually duped the core of the Iron Golem, which is the soul drop from the Iron Golem boss. And what he's doing is, it's very similar to the move swap glitch in theory, where he's using an animation, namely his shield parry, and then he queues up his use button to use the soul, and going into his start menu and then using another item, but then the game thinks he's still using the Iron Golem soul, but makes him use an item in his inventory, which could be any really consumable. But mostly people use Estus, although I think newbie still uses Dark Side, which I am endlessly happy about.
yeah, I use the dark side a lot
Yeah.
because that way I say my Estus. So it's like, oh, what if I need to heal later? There is a lot of glitches depend on this action queue shenanigans. Basically, using a thing while that other thing is waiting on the queue and then getting an unintended effect. Either getting more uses of an item, getting a weapon to be used when it should not be done, or even avoiding death with fall control, which is a very, very common glitch on all From Software games since Demon's Souls. In which, because fall control has an extra animation, you use that time to quit out while you're dying, and then you don't die when you load back into the game.
Unless you do what I do and you
They
quit
don't
out
fix
too
that on
late
Remastered.
and you're dead, and then you reload
Yeah,
and you're
that
dead.
also works.
Yeah. I've done that a couple of times, maybe. Maybe not. Who knows? So yeah, Hivemind's going down to get the dragon tooth from the chest down here through this illusory wall. This kind of secret area of Anor Londo. And Bolt's actually done pretty well to keep up and kind of keep in this even after having to restart his game and
Yeah, no
sort of
major
standing
mistakes
still
from
at
AI.
Asylum. Yeah. Say that again, Mil? Sorry?
No major mistakes from either runners.
No, this
Yes.
is... Although we are coming to ONS, so maybe it's a bit early to say that.
Let me praise them while they are doing well.
No! No!
The Dragon Tooth should be a really, really slow weapon. It's just massive chunk of... I don't even know. It's supposed to be bone. Supposed to be a...
a dragon... It's supposed to be a dragon tooth, maybe?
Yeah, it doesn't even look like the tooth that on the dragons on the cutscenes, though. I don't know where this is coming.
I'm not gonna lie, Mil, but like... maybe I'm wrong here, but I've not really seen many dragon teeth in my lifetime.
There is a cutscene at the beginning, you know?
I'm
There's a bunch of
not a
dragons there.
dentist. I wasn't doing dental examinations on the cutscene, but it might look a bit different. So yeah, Ornstein's doing oh, okay.
Ooh,
He
fast
didn't get blocked by Smo,
damage. Yeah.
but this looks like a quick Ornstein kill, and
That-
Smo's being cooperative.
Well,
Yeah,
Jeez, he didn't even get to this.
really, really good opening there.
Really good of it, yeah.
And Smo is just
I know,
going to shovel
like-
into a wall.
Is that not the... Oh my god, no, that's...
Oh
Oh, unlucky!
no! Oh, poor Hivemind.
No.
That's a real shame.
He attacked a bit too early, and the hammer has like a gigantic collision box. So he got fully... The attack got fully absorbed by the hammer, and he got the worst response that you can get, which is like a shovel right in your face. That attack has a giant hitbox, and it covers a lot of terrain. It's very hard to avoid. But now, because of that, Bolt is actually ahead by just like 2 seconds.
ONS are probably one of the hardest bosses in this game, even in speedrunning, because there's two of them. That's
Yeah,
really the main
basically having
reason.
to deal with two entities, it just makes everything less reliable and a bit messier.
Yeah,
Moveset does help with that, since you have so much damage and you're hitting twice. You also hit twice as much poise damage, so you see that instant stagger from just one attack.
Yeah.
It should not be like the normal behavior.
Bolt's having a little bit of trouble with his move swap. There we go. Oh, Bolt move swap's down. I did not know that. Did not know that. Most people move swap up because it's the superior way to move swap. No, I'm just kidding. It literally doesn't matter which way you move swap. It just means that some people like move swapping up because they feel less like they're spamming their buttons. Hivemind should have a much better smoke here. Oh god, what?
Yeah, hivemind attack a bit. Why is Smoke didn't stagger there? Because he attack a bit too fast. After that enemy is staggered, they cannot be staggered again until their animation ends. They have a bit of invulnerability period, so you have to wait a bit longer. But he handled it well, and nothing really happened. Yeah, you can see Bolt like
Yeah, he had a really
waiting
good
around a
R2
bit.
as well.
If they do that, if they backstep, if Smoke that backstep, they also get infinite poise or invulnerability to poise break, and that's why they did stop moving. But they both handled it well. Still really close.
Yep. And Hivemind actually killed Gwendolyn there. Guinevere, not Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn's later.
Yeah,
Guinevere there. The reason... Did Bolt just bone back
yes, I'm not sure.
before the Lord Vessel? What happened?
Yes.
Maybe he... Oh, okay. I think he might have been trying to dupe a soul and boned back.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's gonna be a minute and a half running.
Yeah, that's actually quite a... It might not seem it, that's actually quite a large time loss, especially this early on.
Yeah, it might be more than a minute and a half actually. Oh, that's a bit sad. The reason to kill Guinevere is so you activate a Twilight and Orlando, and that unlocks the entrance to one boss, which is Windolin. You have another way to unlock that entrance, which is by picking up a ring on the catacombs, but that's a lot slower than just killing an NPC that has like 15 HP. And it's literally along the way.
Yep, okay, so that's exactly what he did. He was duping after the elevator.
Exactly
yeah, that's a bit of a shame. Although what actually really happened was Bolt saw that Hivemind died and thought, well, I didn't die to ONS, so I'll bone back. And in that way, that Hivemind's death to ONS, because it was kind of trolly. He thought, that's not fair. I'll just kind of bone back and lose some time, and we'll kind of get back to where we were before ONS. Bolt's just being a really, really nice guy. Just great guy, Bolt, to be honest. Being really, really nice. Which is good. Hivemind's heading down to Quelaag, who really should have been killed earlier, casually. And you would have to kill her before you could open up the Sen's Fortress from earlier, but because we did the Sen's Gate skip, we're going to kill Quelaag just now.
Yeah,
and
after
Bolt's just got fault control, I think, yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, Mel.
Yeah, it's fine. One of the things that killing Quelaag does is that he's going to unlock the Frammed, which is the NPC, the giant sock puppet that appears in Firelink. And that's going to allow him to use the quantity storage glitch again, this time to sell things and to duplicate materials. So what you do is dropping the 999, but this time instead of buying things, you're feeding Frammed, which is the only NPC that can give you souls for items. You're basically feeding him stuff, you're just selling them. And instead of selling one Quelaag soul, he's gonna sell 999, and that's gonna give him a comfy amount of 10 million souls, and he's gonna be able to level up whatever he wants. Also, if you put an item on the bottomless box, you can sell that item, also sell 999 of them, and the effect of that is that instead of losing the items, you get 999 of them on the bottomless box. So the item that he just picked up, the Dragon Scale, which is an upgrade for his Dragon Tooth, he's gonna get infinite of them, he's gonna be able to max out the weapon and do very impressive amount of damage.
Yeah, so Bolt actually should be able to catch up a bit here with Hivemind getting that scale. He's going to be doing a fall control drop, and like Milk talked about earlier, he's going to have a little bit more time to quit out, or is he just doing a plunge? Oh, nice, he's just doing the plunge. Fantastic. Nice. That was glorious. I'm honestly not sure how the plunge works. I'm pretty sure it resets where you're falling from, no?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how it works either, but...
oh, something Milk doesn't know, this is great.
Yeah, because it's a speedrun tech. I was a bit out of the Discord when this was found. This is all the these glitches are very, very new. Just in December, if I recall, last year. Basically, the plunge attack prevents the game from recording your last stable position, so it messes up the calculation of fall damage.
Hivemind with an unfortunate death there to Quelaag. A bit of mispositioning where he was with that attack. That attack can be quite deceptive, I feel sometimes. There are a lot of times where
Yeah,
you
the
think you
hitbox
might
is
not
not
get
the
hit by it.
greatest.
Yeah.
The hitbox is not the greatest when you're right in front. There is
I
a
was
bit
trying
of
to be
safe spot.
diplomatic about it. But yeah, it's unfortunate death, but because he took the Blighttime Bonfire, it's not as bad a time loss as it could be.
Yeah.
He just has to roll through mud again, and Bolt seems to be having an okay time with Quailag just now. Yep, this should be good. And there we go, that's Quailag. Quailag dead for Bolt. And that was a pretty decent fight for Bolt. Unfortunate about Hivemind, but he should be able to recover. And Bolt now fine. I think he takes the lead. Yeah, they've killed all the same bosses actually so far. That's really interesting. The fact they're kind of doing different routes, but it's going to diverge later, I guess, in terms of what
Yeah.
they do. So I'm wondering if Bolt's going to grab the Daughter of Chaos Bonfire. Yes, he is.
Yes, he will.
Oh my god, that roll through the illusory wall. the heavyweight. And he's killing Engie, wow. I said good guy Bolt earlier, I'm going to say bad guy Bolt. Hivemind, just with a straight R1, missing the running attack, and wasn't punished for it by Quailag, so that's good. And hopefully Quailag kind of is nice for the rest of the fight. Yep, he should be one more running attack.
Yeah, because of the poison, he's on like one-shot range by that one heavy attack that she does.
Yep.
But everything's fine, and we move on.
Yep, so Bolt grabbed the Daughter of Chaos Bonfire. He'll be going to Izalith later. I think Hivemind does that just now in DT +5. I could be wrong, but I think that happens just now.
Yeah, it could be. They could use like the Ceaseless Bonfire and then go to the quantity storage from there and just keep going on Izalith, which saves a bit of time versus it's actually not a small amount of time. It's about 15 to 20 seconds difference between having to run from the mark and run back from the Daughter of Chaos Bonfire.
Yeah, it might even be a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
Because you still have the warp as well to sort of factor into that. And resting in the bonfire and
with
into warp.
RTA,
So.
that's even heavier.
Yeah, it's probably about, what, 30 or 35 seconds maybe. So yeah, Hivemind's going to take the first Demon Ruins bonfire here, and he's going to warp back to Firelink to feed Frampt, which Milt was talking about earlier with the quantity storage glitch, to get probably a bunch of fire bombs maybe, or did he get them earlier? I can't remember. I think he got them earlier actually, the Crestfallen Merchant, because he wanted the blossoms, I assume.
Yeah.
And he's going to speak to Frampt and go and place the Lord Vessel, and then go back over and speak to Frampt to go back up to Firelink, so Frampt will start feeding, or will be able to be fed. Otherwise, you can't feed him. If you place the Lord Vessel through 4 Kings, Frampt will get angry at you, and you'll never be able to feed him.
Yeah. Same if you place the Lord Vessel
Interestingly,
by yourself. You need to warp down, or he also gets mad. It's like, how dare you?
yeah, that's also true. If you can just jump down that hole. And interestingly, they're both back in Firelink, which is quite hilarious. The fact they're doing different routes and they're both in Firelink at the same time. And what will be happening here is Bolt will be quantity storaging Soul Spears from Logan, getting 999 Soul Spears, which might be enough, but we'll see. And he's going to bone back, or no, he'll probably do feed Quailag Soul 999 times to get basically 10 million souls. So yeah, he'll speak to Frampt and do exactly what Hivemind did. Go down and place the Lord Vessel. Don't rest at the bonfire. We've all done that. I thought he was going to there for just a second when he paused.
This slight second thinking about it. Like, yeah, no, let's not.
What's that Wolfie said? Oh yeah, rest at the bonfire. He's going to
go get. Since Bolt sit at the Darkroot bonfire, we kind of know which order he's gonna do next, because the Darkroot bonfire is the quickest access that you get to the DLC. He's gonna do all the bosses on the Darkroot area, plus Seath, which is where the key to the DLC is. The access to the DLC on Dark Souls 1 is, as Captain was saying yesterday, extremely intuitive and easy to understand. You basically have to kill a giant enemy, a mid-boss, so to speak. That's not a requirement to finish the game, Then you have to reload the area, and then an enemy will appear on an area that's completely empty. It will pop out another NPC when you kill him. You have to talk to that NPC, and then you go to the Duke's Archives on the other extreme of the map, kill an NPC that didn't have a special drop before, a mob, and then that mob will drop the special key, and then you have to go back to the place where you rescue the NPC from the other golem, and then you get access to the DLC. It was so intuitive that the developer actually had to give clues to the players to how the hell to get access to the DLC when it was released.
What's so difficult about that? It's easy. Just kill stuff and speak to people. That's what Dark Souls is about.
You know what's the worst part? Is the I did reload for the golden golem, because I remember my first playthrough. I killed the Hydra. I went to explore the cavern. There's nothing. Never came back there. Why would you come back? There's nothing there.
I mean, I would agree with that, but surely you played games before where you're like, oh
With
man,
a reload to make things
I'll
appear.
just-
No.
no, I don't mean that.
What the hell?
I did that all the time, and when I played Ocarina of Time for the first time when I was a child, I was like, yeah, let me just reload the game. Oh, nothing's happened. I'll just try and reload again in case it has to be reloaded twice, like Logan.
Well, that's like one game reference, though.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is, I mean, surely there must be times where you played a game and you've ran over areas you've been to before, just trying to make sure you've got everything. No, never done that. Just me.
Well, not the whole area that I already explored and was completely devoid of anything. Oh, and Bob
Yeah.
doing the plunge attack. Nice.
Nice.
That's the
Although
kind
he
of plunge
did
that
quit out beforehand, but I think that was to just de-aggro the trees that had fallen down. And
Yeah.
Hivemind, we actually didn't even talk about that. Hivemind did a glitch, which is the Fire Sage elevator clip, which what he's doing is he sort of stands in a specific spot, and when you quit out and reload the game, you actually step backwards slightly. So if you quit out and reload the game multiple times, you'll step back even more. And eventually he gets to a point where he's standing over where the elevator would spawn in, but because the elevator spawns in late, you basically fall through the floor. Or you really fall through nothing because the elevator hasn't loaded in.
Yeah.
And luckily that elevator is right above Fire Sage, and you can plunge straight down to him, and his AI is also disabled, so it makes it a completely free fight.
Exactly.
Which is kind of good
So-
because Fire Sage has some
Kind of
kind of annoying attacks.
It's really annoying. The thing is, like, the arena, it's littered with branches that can, instead of breaking, they can just stop your movement, and that can be just enough to get hit by his magic AoE. This is a glitch that's sadly PC exclusive, just because PC loads faster. So since the elevator is part of a different area, the area you're in loads in, the elevator loads later, and then you can clip through. Consoles, because of the limitations, are slightly slower, and your character doesn't load fast enough to be there before the elevator loads. Which is a bit sad though, because it's always nice when you can do the runs on any platform.
Oh, Highbind's having some honestly pretty awful RNG with Centipede.
Yeah,
He's going
get
straight back
back
onto
into
the
get out of
lava.
the lava, Centipede.
Although, what Hivemind could do, and he might not have realised it, or he might have realised it but just not done it, is he could have put the orange charge ring on and literally just hunted Centipede down.
Yeah.
He killed the boss, so it's not too bad. Just lost a little bit of time. He did cut the arm, which is where the orange charge ring actually comes from. So he could have put that on and chased the boss down. But it's okay, not too bad a time loss. And what Bolt has actually done is he's gone to Free Dusk, like Milt said earlier, for the DLC, and bought Hidden Body, which he'll use later on. It's very, very handy for going through certain areas. And he's now switched to Magic as well, and will be using that for basically the rest of the run. I don't think there's anything he will use. Because he did quantity storage and got a lot of souls, he more or less upgraded his intelligence to like 99, his dexterity to 45, which increases your cast speed. So yeah, it's kind of okay, the amount of damage he'll do.
Yeah, the casting speed makes these magic-based routes a lot safer. The spells are not particularly super slow or anything, but it does root you in place for a bit. Having 45 dexterity makes a noticeable difference, in which you can risk going for a spell where, without the 45, you will just not risk it. Say, oh, I might get hit or killed while I'm mid-casting. So that makes it a lot more of a comfy route now, and the damage always been insane.
So Bolt's heading over to Sif, who can... Sif can sometimes just do what he wants. He likes to jump around a lot.
It's a rabbit. I don't know why it looks like a wolf.
It's a rabbit. It's a big rabbit. Although it's a big wolf, I guess.
It's a big rabbit in wolf clothes.
Yes, exactly. He's a rabbit in wolves and sheep's clothing. And that can be very, very detrimental in Magic because your Magic can list. That's a really, really nice counter hit. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a counter hit.
Sif's,
Whoa! Oh my god, that was really lucky.
Oh,
he
wow.
did survive somehow. Look at the health on Sif.
That's ridiculous. I thought Sif was dead.
He rolled slightly too early for the attack. Because Sif, when he enters, if I recall, is less than 10% or 15 health. He hits these like limpering animations, and all his animations slow down. So I think Sif surviving just completely took Bolt by surprise, and he just out of reflex roll with the normal timing, and the slight delay he gets by being on this hard state just caught him at the end of the roll.
Yeah, I think Bolt probably thought Sif was dead as well. That was a bit scary as well, blocking that Battle Axe guy. So Hivemind's now on Better Chaos, and luckily, probably one of the oldest. Is this really a glitch?
It's not. It's just
it's kind of a skip, I guess. Called Toki bombs or pink bombs. If Pink and Orange and Gold is watching, we'll call it pink bombs. Shout out to my boy Pink. And basically, he's going to line up his aim and throw fire bombs into where he really should do some terrible, terrible routing and platforming to destroy these kind of roots of Bed of Chaos before being allowed into the center part and going to kill the bug, which dies in one hit. Although in fairness, in a lot of runs of this game, a lot of bosses can die in one hit. So I guess that doesn't really make it that impressive for Bed of Chaos. So
they're doing at the moment 2 different routes, so it's hard to judge who's ahead. They have died the same amount of times, and they both had to like run a bit to get back to their weir. Currently, Hivemind has killed 2 extra bosses than Bolt, but he has to run a bit to get to the place that Bolt is. So it's not that big of a difference. I will say that Hivemind might be slightly ahead, but we're talking about like tiny difference.
Yeah, I think Hivemind's ahead. Bolt had the death to Sif, and also the bone back at ONS, although he did start to pull back a little bit with the death from Hivemind to Quailag. So I think Hivemind's slightly ahead, but it's really not by much. And one more death from Hivemind, I think Bolt would probably pull back in the lead. But in fairness, you can never really tell who's winning until Gwyn's dead.
Besides, there's mistakes that can be very, very costly. For example, dying to Sanctuary Guardian, like someone did just like, can cost you.
The most glorious Guardian fight I've ever seen.
Minutes. There's some that they cost you just like 20 seconds, maybe 30 seconds. There's some that can cost you 5 minutes. Wait, is there 5 minutes? Well, yeah, if you die to Artorias without taking the bonfire, for example, it's almost 4.5 minutes to get back there. So nothing is safe, and the DLC area, which are both are going to be hitting soon-ish in about 10-15 minutes, has the bosses with the highest amount of health, highest amount of resistance, and highest damage, and faster movesets. So they are a very, very nice recipe for disaster.
Yeah, they're very, very aggressive. Very, very aggressive bosses, and I think that they're probably one of the reasons why they're the best bosses. I think in Dark Souls 1, is because of how aggressive they are. So Bolt's now heading over to Seath, and this is an area where you can lose a lot of time if things go wrong. Not just because of a death requiring a very, very long run back, but there's also a skip coming up called Juke Skip. And Juke Skip is I've always found very, very fickle. What happened?
No, it's super old as well. Super old skip that saves about 3 minutes.
Yeah, it saves around about 3 minutes, because usually you would have to go up and die to Seath, and then go through a prison section, and then run through the archives, but here we can kind of skip it. Oh, wow.
Dying to the boars, that was lucky. And this is what we're talking about. That it's at
This
least
is
50 seconds of running. And with the RTA loading and everything, that probably cost him like a minute and 10 seconds, something like that.
yeah, and that's probably my fault for the caster's curse.
Oh, there you go.
I know. I'm sorry, Bolt. I love you, Bolt. Your beard is magnificent. So, yeah. So what I was trying to say is that skip there, the juke skip, which Bolt will be coming up to shortly, is very, very finicky. I feel, or fickle, I think is the better word. It's either you get it in first try, or it takes 20 to 20 tries, or something like that. Because when you mess it up once, it can be very, very off-putting in terms of like, oh, why am I messing this up? I'm rolling too late, or I'm rolling too early.
I think
And
it's
you
just mostly that. Yeah,
overcompensate the next
the
time.
moral effect, the effect
Yeah.
on your morale. It's very heavy. It's like, how can I miss this after so many times?
I've been doing this glitch for years, and you still mess it up. You know,
That's the worst. It's like,
it totally is the worst.
that's why you never take breaks. Never stop running a game. You start running it, it's just for life. Never stop if you're gonna continue.
Yeah, who would take breaks from Dark Souls? So Bolt did pretty well with the bolts that time. Didn't the boars that time, and didn't die. And the boars are actually stuck in the
Very
doorway.
important. They're everything wrong. Wonky hitboxes too. So now Bolt is gonna kill the Crystal Golem, which is the NPC that gains a key item once you talk to Dusk after freeing her from the Golden Golem. This one right here. So if you kill him before this, he has nothing. It's just like his normal drops, like Crystal, Blue Titanite and everything. So how can you guess that one is gonna have it's just such this DLC entrance
Mil, when did you play this game casually?
undefendable.
When
Like
did you play this game
2011,
casually?
2012. I'm still salty. Okay.
It's been 7 years, dude. Let it go. Let it go, Milt.
It makes no sense.
Just wait for the remaster. They'll put out like a signpost saying, "Come here for the DLC." Now go. You'll see another sign.
Actually,
Now go
yeah,
to the
no,
Jigs
there's
archives.
something.
No, they'll literally just put an actual sign in the game, not a soapstone, like an actual
Yeah,
sign.
you know what Dark Souls misses? Quest markers. So yeah, I hope they are in. I want my minimap and quest markers.
Oh
and
god,
Bolt sadly miss a Duke skip.
I'm getting you banned from this community now. How dare you? Many map markers. God.
The thing with Duke skip is that it doesn't really do anything. It's like a sequence break that doesn't really use any glitches to get there. But since you are abusing the geometry of the area, it's very time sensitive. So you have to jump at the right time. So for example, Bolt there took a bit too long to get on the railing, and that makes him bounce, get out of bounds, and then he falls. So he has to quit out and try again. This doesn't save that much. It doesn't lose that much time in game time, which is how the game is measured. And it's infinitely worse than dying to Seath. But since this is a race and it's an RTA, the loading screens starts to add up, and this is becomes precious time that you're losing. So first he has to get on the railing on the corner, and then jump onto the third floor at the right time, and make it in between the floors so he doesn't have any collision and doesn't get bounced off.
Oh, unlucky Bolt.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was quite close. Yep, so Hivemind actually had a decent Sith fight, and he's now heading over to Butterfly, who he's going to kill with black fire bombs, because it's really the best way. Unless he wants to just stand and chill and wait for Butterfly to just fly bomb her down. Which can take a long time.
It feels like an eternity when you're not doing anything.
Yeah. So yeah, Bolt's going to try and get on a bit early there that time, unfortunately. Especially in races, I think like messing up Duke skip can be very, very what's the right word? Detrimental to how you're feeling and how confident you're feeling about the race and stuff like that. I mean, I've been in plenty of races where I've messed up Duke skip lots of times, and it honestly just feels like the worst. But I'm sure Bolt will be able to find his inner resolve to crush this, no problem, and get this first try. Oh, okay. Oh my god, what?
Yeah,
just
he
landed
bounced
on
into the
her.
walls. Yeah, he just left, moved slightly too far on the railing. You do want to move a bit off the railing so you get a better angle to the jump off, but it it's very, very, very finicky. You don't have that much room to move. You need to move a bit. I mean, you don't need to, but you want to move a bit, but not too much. It's with a bit of practice and knowing where these things fail, this skip can become very consistent. But at the same time, it's very, very easy to mess it up.
Yeah.
I guess you could say that from a lot of glitches in the game, or a lot of skips.
Here we go. First try, Bolt. Easy.
There
Told
we
you.
go.
First try. Absolutely. What a god gamer. He did it first try. Yeah, unfortunately, Bolt did lose quite a lot of time there. But not too bad. He's still alive. He's still going. His run is not dead. It's very frustrating, that skip, but I'm sure that he'll be able to get himself back on track mentally. And
now they're
get back
gonna
on with
be
the run.
doing the next 5 bosses are gonna be basically the same for both, which is gonna be Sith. And now, since they get access to the DLC, they're gonna go for Sanctuary Guardian, Artorias, Manus, and Calamine. The difference between the two runs now is that Hivemind already did the Lost Isolate segment, which is a fair bit of running.
How long is that? About 6 or 7 minutes?
Yeah, probably.
Probably more than, maybe even more than that. I'm not even sure how long that is.
Oh, and
Oh,
the
Hivemind!
doing.
Yes,
Jeez,
Hivemind's also copying more.
Their
Yeah,
second
Bolt.
victim. Who's the ham now? Jeez. That he was going got stuck, but that was really lucky as well. Oh jeez. I mean,
Oh,
running, but
no,
it's
please.
for both. It wasn't that good.
Oh, that was so unexpected, though. That just slayed me. So, yeah, unfortunate death for Hivemind there a bit. Just doing the what Bolt did earlier, unfortunately. But yeah, boars are extremely angry today. So yeah, Bolt's heading down the Crystal Caves, and you can see what we mean by if you die to Seath. This is a very, very, very long run back to our,
Yeah, and in both
to
you
him
did
even.
skip again.
And unfortunately, because we're not taking the Duke's Archives bonfire, which you can do, it's perfectly valid backup bonfire. The only problem is you have to run back to the DLC from Undead Parish, I think is
And
the
that's
fastest way.
that's about 50 seconds extra. If I recall, it's about 52 seconds to go to the DLC from the Darkwood bonfire they have marked at the moment. If you go from the Undead Parish, it should be something like 145, 150. So it's quite a bit more of running. And Dark Souls 1, unlike other Souls games, only saves your last warping location where you sit down and use a bonfire. So you cannot use a Homer bone to go to anywhere, and not all bonfires are warpable.
Oh my god, that hollow.
So, yeah, that hollow was going for the gold medal.
that hollow was a bit aggressive, but Hivemind dealt with it fine. And
So the
Bolt
Dark
had a
bonfire
straightforward fight.
only saved if it was your last bonfire use. Same with the Sisters bonfire before the Hivemind use for the quantity storage glitch. If they use another one, he will lose access to that bonfire via warp.
Yep, so now we'll see if Hivemind can get Duke Skip here. Yeah, that seems a good start, and his setup should be quite good. Yep, he's got that. That's really good by Hivemind. Well done. There, well done there.
And Bolt already on the way to the DLC.
Yep.
Setting down RTSR.
No, I don't think he's doing RTSR.
Wait, is
He
he
might be taking the bonfire.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, he's doing his magic now, so he'll probably be doing sorcery.
Right.
Oh, well, he might move swap actually, Guardian. But I doubt it. I think he'll, because he's leveled up to 99 and hasn't upgraded his
Yeah,
strength,
it's
so
yeah, it shouldn't make that much of a difference. This is not a bad strat though. It's for safety.
Yeah, it gives you a slightly slower fight against Guardian, but it is a lot
Yeah.
safer.
Yeah,
if anybody saw Mr. Brute's Guardian yesterday, it can go very wrong.
Yes.
That was fantastic. So yeah, Bolt's probably going to grab the bonfire, and he's also grabbing the Crown of Dusk, which spawns in when you speak to you summon Dusk over at the. Yeah, he is grabbing the bonfire over at the. I was going to say beach. but not the beach, the edge of the water,
On the basin.
where Hydra more or less spawns in. And he summoned Dusk there and spoke to her, and that means the Crown of Dusk spawns in, and that increases your damage by 20%. I want to say. I'm not sure
Yeah,
exactly.
it's a 20% extra damage for sorceries, and you also receive a slight debuff in which you receive 10% more damage from spells. Ooh,
Oh god,
jeez. Sanctuary Guardian just
getting swiped
smack
by
him a bit.
the Manticore. There we go. Not too bad. As you can see, the damage is still really, really good without RTSR, and it's a 2 Soul Spear stagger on Guardian. There's
Yeah.
a third one, and that should be Guardian dead. Fantastic. Actually, there was a really, really good fight by Bolt. Bit
Yeah, he
scary
didn't
when he
lose
got hit,
much
but
time at all versus having RTSR. Probably would have
still
been like
faster
finishing
than
RTSR.
Mr. Bridge run yesterday. Which I think lasted about a minute before he died because Guardian just would
Yeah,
not
that
stop
was
slamming lightning. That was hilarious. It was great. And Hivemind's heading down to Seath just now. And he'll break the crystal with a firebomb, which means that he can now. Well, not so much that he can now damage Seath, but basically so Seath doesn't instantly regenerate. And he'll be able to kill the boss. And where he's hitting, oh my god, that damage! Where he's hitting the boss is, I think it's where you do the highest amount of damage. Is that kind of crystal at the bottom of Seath in the middle. So it looks like Bolt's not going for Royal Wood Skip. If he is, he might be taking a weird path towards it. Well, maybe he is actually. I don't think I've ever seen anybody run around that way towards the elevator
it's
where you were all supposed to.
usually you don't do that because you aggro the enemies, but I think it's fine because of hidden body.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Hidden
true.
body doesn't make you full invisible. Enemies still see you and aggro you, but they both start aggroing really close to you, and they also de-aggro faster.
So what Bolt's going to do here is boost over that little ledge and plunge and bounce off the edge of the elevator and land at the bottom and survive, which means this basically saves about roughly 30 seconds. It's roughly that.
Yeah, it saves you running around the entire area to get
Which
access
can
to
take
the
quite a while. And is he going to set up RTSR for... Oh, he's also quitting out to get rid of his fall control. Because, yeah, he's going to set up RTSR here for Artorias.
Yeah, he needs to get... he's probably going to ring swap.
Yep.
Get down to 50% health, and then he's going to take about 40% damage from this fall, and that's going to put him nicely on RTSR range.
I assume he's not going to trigger... Yeah, he's not going to trigger Calamite right now. You have to trigger Calamite before actually fighting him, and also speak to an NPC called Hawkeye Go, or Goch. I can't remember how to pronounce it. Pronunciations are hard, dude. But he's going to go straight up to Artorias. It's a bit risky to do that, even with hidden body, because dogs can still kill you pretty easily. So Magic Artorias can be good, but Artorias has a habit of kind of acting like Sith and dodging. And how did that Soul Spear
How
miss?
did that miss? That was really weird. The first one, I think he was slightly out of range. Soul Spears have a gigantic range, but they don't go.
Oh my god, Bolt's missing. Soul Spear's missing.
Yeah, he was just too far. But the second one, I have no idea how he missed. It was point blank range.
Yeah, that was really confusing for a second. But Bolt should have it now. One more attack.
Oh, another boss surviving with no health.
Yep. Bolt's not having any of this luck today. Yep, that's a great attack to go for. Fantastic. Bolt's good fight, Artorias.
Actually, me there kills.
Hivemind's almost getting a Brood tier Guardian right now.
Lots of lightning.
One of the things you can do with lots of lightning, and I feel actually did this in the race against Brood yesterday, is as you're dodging these attacks, it start to move towards the boss. Yeah. It is a bit riskier, but Guardian's attacks are basically based on your range.
Lightning is basically a response to your distance and a response to range attacks. So you're attacking with a bow or with spells, he will tend to either do a bomb rush attack like with the head, or he's gonna do lightning. And now Ball going for a very, very iffy skip, because you need to land on that platform. The elevator does not save your position. They're not considered static terrain, since they move around. So you need to move forward, and at the same time not too forward, so you don't hit the wall and get bounced back. It can feel very random at times.
It's 100% consistent. Don't worry about it. So now Bolt's going to grab the crest key, which is going to allow him to speak to the NPC Hawkeye. I was going to call him Hawkeye, much better. This is actually before the Avengers, so he's this is before he actually took up the Avengers role. So now he's going to kill this mimic here and get the crest key to open up that NPC's area, which he will go back to probably after Manus. One would assume after Manus. And hivemind looks like he's still going towards the Royal Woodskip.
So at the moment, Bolt is slightly behind because he hasn't done the isolate section. But if hivemind dies to one boss here, might be enough time for him to recover, just because of the run back to the boss arenas.
One thing you'll notice is hivemind is doing this skip without fall control. A bit too long there in that boost. This boost can be a little bit inconsistent, but because hivemind doesn't have fall control, he's going to have to recoil and then roll before he hits the ground, kind of in mid-air, and that sort of negates the fall damage. And I'm still not entirely sure how that works.
Lets you reset the animation mid-air, and that allows you to get the roll, which should not be normal. You should not be getting a roll out of the plunge attack animation.
Yep.
And this was also found very close to the well, all the plunges kind of were found very recently, December, if I recall, of last year.
I think when the first one was found, there was the whole plunging the world.
The plunge revolution, yeah, everything. The Japanese artists are nuts with this. They just they find so many. It's just so nice to see.
It's
a
great.
really,
It's
really
fantastic.
cool glitch.
Yeah, it's really cool. Mechanic, not glitch.
What do you mean, no glitch?
So hivemind's gonna it's fine. Hivemind's gonna fight Artorias here. And he's gonna stagger Artorias by breaking his poise in 2 hits, which, because of the move swap glitch, more or less is 1 attack. You should be able to stagger him here, and that should be Artorias. Really nice fight from hivemind. A shame he missed an attack there with Artorias dodging, but apart from that, really nice fight. And Bolt's heading down towards Manus. I never actually saw it, but I'm going to assume he picked up Darkbeat. Because Darkbeat's literally the best spell in the game.
It's the most balanced, fair, and engaging spell in the entire game. Perfect for speedrunning.
Absolutely. It's incredibly, incredibly okay. And Sorcery Manus is actually quite comfortable if you're okay with dodging Manus's attacks, because you're kind of put a bit of range between you and him, and you can punish very, very hard on a lot of attacks, and there's no need of death.
A bit of a panic roll there.
Yeah, just a little bit.
This attack can be a bit messy to dodge. It's far better to unlock, so you get a better side distance than unlock roll, but besides that, you're fine. That attack, even if you're full health, 99 vitality, it's gonna one-shot you if you take it down center.
Very nice fight by Bolt. Very nice fight. Apart from 1 panic roll, that was it. Very clean fight. Very clean. And so Bolt will now go and trigger Manus, which is what hivemind's doing just now. He's doing that after Artorias. And it doesn't hugely matter when you do it, I guess. Like, you do it after Artorias or after Manus. Maybe it saves on a warp.
This is also very obscure. He has to leave the area, and once you do that, you can get out of here, basically. And that triggers a special dialogue with Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, yes.
That gives a special cutscene and grounds the boss so you can have like a proper fight. A one-to-one man versus glitchy dragon.
Perfectly fair and balanced. And
hitboxes and attacks.
Yep, absolutely. Tanky meat is great. So yeah, Bolt's going to head over and trigger Calamite, and he'll be using Hidden Body to more or less conceal himself from the dogs, because dogs can be, as we saw earlier in Lower Undeadburg, can be very, very annoying.
It can be annoying, yes.
It's just a little bit annoying.
Dogs have 2 things that make them extremely annoying. One, they have an attack that propels them forward, so even if you're running at full speed, they have a chance to catch up. If you're running past them, they can jump and they bite midair, and their hitbox lasts so long that you can even roll and they catch you at the end of the roll. And I'm pretty sure they read inputs. But we have no official info yet on that yet. But I'm pretty sure they read your inputs, unlike most enemies in the game.
No, that's heresy talk, Milt.
Have you seen when sometimes you spam on them and they dodge every attack? You cannot do that without reading
Hang on,
inputs.
I'm just phoning Miyazaki to get him to take you away. Hang on 1 second. Before you spread this falseness about.
Freaking hacks.
So
yeah,
yeah, Bolt's going to speak to Hawkeye at the moment, and more or less get Hawkeye to. Unfortunately, one of the most unfortunate things, and I'm not going to lie, for this tournament is we can't see the cutscene here, where Hawkeye, who is blind, shoots down Calamite. It's a pretty badass cutscene. But yeah, he needs to make sure he says yes, and he did, and the second yes as well. There we go. We've all said no before. Hivemind taking a bit of damage from the chained prisoner, but he should be fine.
Yeah, those things hit hard.
Just a little bit. Like most things in the DLC, they hit kind of hard. So because Hawkeye is shot, Calamite's more or less going to be grounded. More or less.
Yeah, gonna have a giant
More-
arrow on his left wing, if I recall.
Can still fly a little bit.
Oh yeah, how does that work?
He's jumping with style, Milt. That's all it is.
Giant arrow through the bag, and yeah, this game makes no sense.
But I'm not going to discuss dragon anatomy again. We already talked about the dragon teeth earlier. I'm not a dragon dentist, neither am I a dragon doctor, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're not qualified to counter my arguments here.
You're not qualified to give your arguments. Go back
Well,
to your.
how do you know? Maybe I'm a dragon dentist. How do you know? You haven't seen my credentials. Now, how am I going to
Can I say it, Milt? Can I say Milt?
What?
www.becomeadragondoctor is not.com is not a real website. That's not a real certificate you've got. It's a sham.
My diploma is printed and on the wall, so that works for me.
Oh, so Bolt's using Homing Soul Mass on Calamite right now, and Calamite with Sorcery can be pretty good. Because again, you can kind of keep your distance, and this is a very good attack for Bolt. Allow him to get a lot of damage in.
I like
Using
how
Soul Spear here. Yeah.
Soul Master really doesn't do any damage.
No, it really doesn't. Avoided the grab. Oh, go! He died. Bolt, I just said you avoided the grab.
That's a really. It has a huge.
Oh, and an
hitbox.
unfortunate death for Hivemind with the very extremely delayed hand slam from Manus. That's a very tricky attack to dodge. Honestly,
death.
probably one of the hardest attacks I had trouble learning.
Yeah, it does look really close to another attack, so it takes a bit to get used to learn which one is coming, because they're basically both slams, but they have slightly different timings.
Luckily for Bolt, he does have a couple of soul spears left, so he's able to quit out and start fighting.
That's like 21.
Yeah, that's more than a couple. Oh my god, that was so close.
Geez, the fire tick. Yeah, the telekinetic attack does quite a bit of damage, but it has a really long animation, so it gives you enough time to quit out, even and take no damage, but it does reset the fight. That attack has a giant hitbox that you can prevent by going either really far or going directly under him. And that attack is very terrible, especially for people in the first playthrough.
Unfortunate death to Bolt.
Oh, the neck hitbox. It's really
a
unfortunate.
bit of a misposition on his roll direction there. I think he was a little too far to the right of Calamite to try and roll through the neck. So Hivemind's still got back to Manus as well.
The problem with that particular attack, the neck, is that it's gonna how safe you are from it. It's gonna depend a lot of your position, because the attack has a
very nice finish there.
For a long time. So if you roll too early, he's gonna carry you during the roll, and then when you finish the roll, the hitbox will still be active and it's gonna do damage.
It was a very nice fight on Manus that time by Hivemind.
Very clean revenge kill.
Exactly, and a very stylish finish with the move swap and an instant backstep attack. that was pretty swaggy. And as we know, the swaggier you look in your speedruns, the faster you go. It's a scientific fact, and it has been proven.
It's called mortal time, and it gets discounted at the end. You have to do it manually, though.
Yep, yep. It's like in runs when you trigger the cleric dialogue, you automatically save 20 minutes. Bench skip is 40 minutes, Namu Rafters is 30 minutes, and Fiber Jumps, I believe, is 37 and a half minutes, but I would need to look that one up.
Yeah, it's nice that you can end up with negative time though. It's like
Yeah, yeah. Style is far more important than speed. Sorry. So Hivemind's going to trigger Hawkeye, Bolt's back at Calamite now. No, that's a really good attack for Magic, but he rolled twice, so only able to get 2
yeah,
soul
he
spears off.
lost one casting, but it's fine. Really,
Very nice
oof,
dodge from
really
Fire.
close to the
Very nice
dodge.
dodge
Yeah,
from Fire.
very well done. And
Oh,
she'll be dead.
yeah.
Yeah,
Calamite
she'll
should
be
die
dead now.
here. Third attack, and fantastic. Just needs to not bone out early. Calamite has a very long death animation, and because of the rules of Dark Souls all bosses, we have to more or less wait for the victory achieved screen to appear before we can bone out. And you can kind of time it so that when you bone out, the victory achieved screen appears just as you're boning out, which means that the boss technically counts and the boss isn't alive. But because of some bosses like Calmi and Nito, I would say as well, have, and Bed of Chaos, I guess, have really long death animations. You can bone out early very easily if you're just a little bit off in your timing.
We haven't seen that in the tournament yet. Usually shouldn't happen. People know when to Homer Bond, but there is always the nerves,
Yeah,
the tournament racing nerves, that can give a bit of
that's a really
bit of a
cool
missed
RTSR
time.
setup by Bolt. He ran and used the 180 animation to turn his.
Yeah, to give time to calculate the fall damage.
Yeah, that's really cool. Usually, most people run to the wall and backstep twice, but that's a really cool RTSR setup. Bolt's heading down to 4 Kings. He's cast Fall Control because he's going to do a skip here called Seal Skip. And again, like other Fall Controls, skips, when you land, you have a little bit more time to quit out. So he's actually going to jump basically out of bounds here and land in an area where he's technically not supposed to be, but the game hasn't killed him with a kill box or anything, so the game kind of just lets him play there and like, oh, okay, you're there, that's fine, whatever. Hivemind had to reload there because he landed on a ledge, which messed up his RTSR setup, because I think he bounced off the lizard. That lizard is a jerk.
Yeah.
It's happened a lot. That's happened many times to me. I always try and kill him the first time I trigger Calamity. Unfortunately missed there, but some nice follow-up RNG in the Calamity.
And it's like good attack for smacking him really hard. Oh, missed the second one. But oh, nice. We got the loot.
What is this? Yeah, I look nice.
He might be dead now. Oh, he didn't risk going for the second attack.
Yeah. I don't blame him in all honesty. It's
Yeah.
it's very risky. Bolt did not pick up Darkbeat.
Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, I thought he missed it, but maybe he just didn't pick it up at all.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming not since he's not attuned it. Maybe he did pick it up and forgot. Very nice kill on Hive Minds.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Hive Mind. By Hive Mind on Calamite. He picked it up for sure and just he forgot to attune it. Okay, I think I was just a bit confused there why he was using Soul Spears.
Yeah.
So yeah, he forgot to attune Darkbeat. It's not too bad. He'll still be able to kill the 4 Kings. I assume he might be able to. Oh, he does. He does have it tuned. Oh, this is his 1 King setup. Oh, okay, yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was just extremely confused there for a second.
Yeah, me too. I'm not used to the whole Darkbeat stuff.
Yeah, because the 1 King setup that I know is to use Darkbeats, but to remove the Crown of Dusk for the first Darkbeat cast. To get the 1 King set up, and then you do 1 Darkbeat without the Crown of Dusk, and then you do 4 more. Yeah, 3 more. I had to make the sound effects there to make sure I was counting it right. It's legit, don't worry. And to get the 1 King, which actually does save a lot of time. Because the weird thing about the 4 Kings fight is, generally speaking, in speedrunning routes, more often than not, you get something called 2 Kings, which is where you killed 2 of the Kings and the entire boss bar, health bar, gets depleted. And it literally doesn't really matter how long it takes you to kill the first king, because you still need to wait for the second king to spawn. And all that matters is how fast you kill the second king, because the length of time is always the same. But if you get one king, obviously killing the first boss faster is basically saves you waiting in that amount of time, and it does save quite a bit of time, depending on how long it takes you to set up for one king.
No. Now
Very nice.
after the deal, yeah. Now after the DLC is done, there is no much of a requirement of doing certain bosses in certain order, so they can go whatever way they want. Usually, since they are using bonfire, the firing bonfire as a hub, they're gonna do all the bosses that are around that area. But there's no real requirement. It just really saves you a warp, which is about 7 seconds. IGT, it's probably gonna be really like 10 seconds every time they need to warp. So you want to minimize the amount of warping that you do between bonfires. So we see Bolt going for Pinwheel and Nito. Hivemind just did Stray Demon, and he's heading out to Capra and Gaping, which will be pretty much deleted from the game because of the amount of damage he's doing right now.
Just like
Just as
Pinwheel
Pinwheel did.
there, yep. Perfect timing.
Poor Pinwheel.
Who? Pin what? I shouldn't say that. I did die in a Crapple Mage run to Pinwheel once, where you're supposed to one-shot Pinwheel, and the amount of skill I have in speedrunning, I died, which was impressive.
Hivemind getting a lot of points so he can tank through the dog attacks. Not a bad idea. That way he basically have no need to worry about them. Capra getting one shot. Oh, nice! Just like no quitting out, which is good for RTA.
Yeah, very good. Very, very quick kill there in Capra. I think Capra is probably one of the best examples of how different speedrunning is to casual.
Yeah.
Because in casually, Capra Demon is brutal. And it's not even the demon, it's more or less the dogs that make it brutal.
The bloody dogs, yeah.
Yeah. And we've also, because we've sung the praises of dogs so much in this game already, so we won't speak too much about them again. But that one makes that fight really hard. But in most routes, we more or less one-shot the boss. Which is just gravy. It's fantastic. So Hivemind's heading down to Gaping, and Bolt's heading towards Nito. Got a nice wee little skip there, which saves a small amount of time by jumping up to this ledge and then going over this way. I'm not sure how much time that saves. Probably around, what, 8 seconds or something? I don't even know.
Yeah, maybe even less. It's just tiny, but it just keeps the route going smoothly. It's the fastest way through the area.
So Hivemind's looking for a certain attack opening here, which is when Gaping slams down, which he did. And he's going to attack that small head at the front, which does basically allows you to do way more damage to Gaping. And 1R1 will finish that boss off. Very, very clean fight by Hivemind. And Bolt's going to make his way through this area using Hidden Body. You'll see enemies still try to attack him because they still know where he is. I think it just kind of delays when they can start attacking. And he's going to use Hidden Body in the fight against Pinwheel as well. Pinwheel against Nito. I would not recommend using
Big Pinwheel. Big Pinwheel.
Big Pinwheel. I was going to say I would not recommend using Hidden Body against Pinwheel. You can try, but I don't think it will help. So he's going to use Darkbeat here. He's going to kill the skeletons at the front. He only got 2 of them, and he's going to use Soul Spears. Okay.
Yeah, it's safer strat, but
yep. Especially if you only get 2 of the skeletons. Oh,
he got the scream, which we couldn't tell because of the audio, but he couldn't roll in time. That's a really tricky attack to get used to it because he has such a extremely long delay when you get the sign that it's coming, and it actually goes through. So if you panic a tiny bit, if you're close enough, you can see him digging the sword on the ground, and you know what that's when it's coming. But it's just such a long delay that it just throws you off.
I think that delayed attacks in any of the Souls games are probably the most difficult because instinctively you see an attack, you want to roll immediately.
Yeah. Also, they're terrible. Sometimes it's just I hate delayed attacks. But they're so arbitrary though. It just ends up being you just memorizing the timing. It's not very intuitive. And now Hivemind also hitting to whoa! This an exploding head.
I knew that was going to happen. Just I thought this was maybe some like sick like backup RTSR strat for Pinwheel, but maybe not. Oh, Bolt Ash to the giant spawn fire, so his time loss won't be too bad.
Yeah, that's good though. It's a long
yeah.
run from above. It's a long run from here already, but it just basically doubles if you have to come from Firelink Shrine.
Yep. So Bolt will be heading back to Pinwheel to I don't know why I keep saying Pinwheel. The Pinwheel room. I think it's his hivemind at Pinwheel. That's why. I'm gonna pretend that's why. Goodbye Pinwheel. That's you. Okay, Pinwheel's dead. I should not mention Pinwheel again. That's right.
Ever again,
So,
yeah.
Bolt's gonna fight Pinwheel. No, I'm kidding. Bolt's gonna fight Nito right now. I had to think about that one. And hopefully he hasn't got a scream. We can't actually tell because we don't have the audio set over. I think that Nito's not screaming. Yeah, he's not. He's moving forward, so that's fine. And Bolt's just going to cast Soul Spears. Completely safe to do, and yeah, great fight by Bolt there. Very, very good. The screams can be very, very, very tricky.
Death animation as well. Have to wait for the explosion, and then you can teleport out.
Yeah. So now Bolt's probably going to head to, I guess, Izalith?
Yeah, he still hasn't done
Capra and Gaping, hasn't he? Oh, no, he has not, actually, yeah. And Stray, he still has to do Stray. Yeah, so, oh no! What is this? Nobody's going to trigger the cleric these routes.
Oh,
I'm very upset. There we go. I've done the sound. That's as good as it's going to get. This
yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm pretty disappointed, to be honest.
I hope you get called for the voiceover on the remaster.
I already did the voiceover in this game. So it looks like, yeah, Bolt's gonna head up to Stray. Gonna have a little chill in the nest here, pretend he's an egg. Hopefully his cosplay is good enough. And Hivemind's gonna head over to Nito. A bit of a different fight. I assume he's probably gonna use stone armor.
Yeah, I'm expecting the poise stack in. That way you can just ignore the skeletons and just go and smack Nito. Slightly slower because of you don't have RTSR, so you do less damage. But the weapon is so upgraded that it should not really be a problem. Should be a very fast fight, nonetheless.
Yep. So no scream so far from Nito. So Nito will be start moving forward. One of the side effects of Nito screaming. Oh, there we go. I shouldn't have said anything. Very nice dodge there. He has stone armor though. He should be able. He's able to tank at least what, maybe 2.
I think he's just waiting until Nito moves forward to avoid aggroing the giant skeletons in the back.
Oh,
which
okay.
Even if you do have a lot of poise,
that's a toxic player for Hivemind.
Yeah. You can see he's still having his poise broken after getting smacked around a bit.
Yeah.
And one more attack, and Nito should be dead.
Oh,
this is pretty close! And the toxic might.
Oh, the toxic! Oh god!
Oh my god, that was so close!
He should
He's
get this.
going for the kill. He should get the kill.
Yeah.
No, he's not gonna. Yeah, he got it.
Yeah, he got it. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh my god,
That was risky. But he didn't get punished for it. That's really nice.
He lost
That
his
was
soul,
so
what's he
risky.
gonna do? Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I don't know. What is he gonna do? What the hell?
I don't know. He's lost his souls. A double KO with Nito there, but he got the Lord's Soul and the Victory Achieved message, so it still counts. Or well, it counts. The boss is dead, so he doesn't have to go back down. That was that was a bit scary.
That was very clutch. That was nice.
And Bolt heading down towards Capra and Gaping. Hivemind heading over to Four Kings, which Bolt has already done, but Hivemind has already done Capra, Gaping, and the Izalith bosses as well.
The Izalith bosses. They are basically 3 bosses ahead, and Izalith is quite a bit of running. I will say that Hivemind might be something like 3 minutes ahead.
Yeah, I think maybe. Well, no, I suppose maybe slightly more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still difficult to tell. Nice quit out timing by Bolt. He's going to appear back at the door.
Yeah, if you quit out after you get the item, you know that the boss is actually dead. But because the victory achievement hasn't appeared on the screen, the game throws you out of the boss arena, like if the boss was alive. It saves a tiny amount of time, so we're talking like 3-4 seconds. Basically, what it takes you to run away, run back. Yeah.
In RTA, it doesn't actually save any
Yeah, in
time.
RTA doesn't save anything probably, but on IGT it does save a few seconds.
If you're doing quit out strats though, because generally speaking, usually like heal and quit out at Capra, just because of the dogs and the thief stick can chase you down. If you're going to quit out, you might as well try and do that because that will still save you time. So, yep, Hivemind just did the seal skip there, which avoids talking to Ingward and turning the seal and lowering all the water. The water is all there, but he's going to head straight down. He's going to drop an item in the abyss, which is going to mark the rough estimate of the spot, the rough spot where the second king will spawn, which he'll run to after he presumably kills the first king.
Yeah, it gives you a reference point. The arena here, it's
Oh, magic, okay.
a lot of people think that it's infinite. It is actually just a giant circle, and it's the worst when you actually find the walls and you have kings chasing you. Because there's no indication whatsoever. You just cannot move.
Okay, he's fine. Bolt just missed a dark bead there. That was a bit scary. But yeah, very nice kill on Guardian. Guardian on Gaping Dragon by Bolt.
Gaping Dragon.
Okay. Maybe it's Pinwheel. Who knows? I have Pinwheel in my brain, don't I? So there we go. There's the second king spawn, and Hivemind's going to use his new swap. Nice swaggy double backstep attack, and boom back. And I believe Hivemind only has the Dark Anor Lonzo left and Painted World.
Yeah, should be it.
So Gwendolyn and Priscilla, and then obviously Gwyn. While Bolt has Islith and Anor Lonzo and Priscilla.
Yeah.
And yeah, neither runner took the Darkmoon bonfire, so they'll have to run from the Anor Lonzo one. So, I think Bolt's major time loss more or less came from Juke Skip. Because he did lose a lot of RTA to Juke Skip, just because of the amount of times you have to reload and...
Yeah, he had a few unfortunate deaths as well that involve a lot of running back. I think that it was mostly that.
Yeah. Well, plus there was earlier when he had to restart his game as well.
That also.
Yeah, and he did catch up after that point. So it's a shame. So Bolt's just doing the short jog over to Ceaseless, while Hivemind takes the stairs towards Dark Sun Gwendolyn.
Yeah, and he's taking damage along the way to set up RTSR and not having to bother doing that during the fight, which will be really hard for him to do given he has so much health. Usually you have if you come at base health or very close to it, you can take one attack from Gwendolyn with magic attack, and that's enough to put you in RTSR. In this case, you just use fall damage, which is percentage based, so it's very, very reliable to get under 20% health.
Especially late game when you've leveled up a lot and you have a lot of resistances to enemy attacks. Trying to set up RTSR can be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah.
And it kind of gets to the point where like I'm taking 10 attacks from this hollow. Maybe I should just go and fight the boss rather than taking all this time to set up RTSR. So Bolt's going for the Fire Sage elevator clip, which is where he's going to quit out a couple of times to move himself backwards, and the elevator will basically not loading quick enough. If Hivemind going for this, that was nice. Very, very, very nice by Hivemind. The thing about Dark Sun Gwendolyn is probably, I would honestly say, it's probably the highest RNG boss in the game.
Yeah, you have to be able. In this case, you have a one shot, so you can like kind of rush him. But most runs need to attack more than once, which means that you need more time available next to the boss, and he teleports really fast when you get close to him, unless he's doing the arrow attack, which is 3 volleys that he fires very slowly. So you kind of have to wait for that one, and it can be very random at times.
Very, very infuriating. While you're just like standing against the wall, just like I wish this boss would stop using homing soul mass. Oh, there's a homing soul mass. Oh, there's a homing soul mass. Yep, so Hivemind's heading over to Painted World. Bolt very nicely did the Fire Sage skip, which is where he's reloading the game to step backwards, like I said earlier. And he's going to set up a nice RTSR setup for Centipede. And I mean, I'm not sure, Milt, but do you think he'll be able to kill Centipede with Darkbeat?
I'm not sure. The thing is, like, Darkbeat, very hard to aim spell because has a tiny, tiny, tiny hitbox.
Yep, very tiny hitbox.
Yeah,
One.
he's
Okay,
this is
he
weird.
managed
He's
that.
covering. Yeah, that was well done.
Yeah, he just managed that. That was a bit scary. And you'll also notice that Bolt's lava is actually you're actually able to look at it. He's using a
Wait,
texture board.
nice. He's a sensible person. I'm
Yeah, he
glad.
is. I'm not a sensible person, but Bolt is.
Look at that. Doesn't it look lovely?
I don't know. I prefer the blinding light where I can't see anything, and it's like looking directly into the sun. So yeah, Bolt's going to head over to Bed of Chaos, and this race actually still is pretty close, considering because Bolt's more or less just has Bed of Chaos, and he's only 2 bosses behind Hivemind, which is good.
Yeah.
Both runners have done really well.
Running. Yeah.
And the thing is, like with oh, okay, nice sweet arrow in hidden body. Thanks, game. The thing about is he going to go for the manly move swap? No, he's okay. You can actually shoot Priscilla with an arrow and then move swap, and then you're able to basically track her movements because of the arrow.
Oh
What he's going to do
Damage.
is, he doesn't actually target. He's going to listen for. He's looking for footsteps right now. There are a few ways you can track Priscilla. If you attack her and she aggroes and then you lock onto her, very, very nice fight, by the way, by Hivemind.
Yeah.
Very quick. Very, very nice. If you target lock onto Priscilla and she goes invisible and then sort of teleports in front of you, or in your field of view, your targeting will switch over to her and you'll be able to see her just for a short amount of time, and you'll be able to tell where she is. You can do the arrow strat, like I said, where you shoot her with an arrow, and then the arrow will follow her. Will be stuck in her, and you can look for the arrow in the air. And what Hivemind did there was use the snow to watch for footsteps. And what I have done, and other runners done, is to listen for audio, and you can kind of work out where she is by turning your head as well.
Yeah.
Which is quite useful. So Hivemind's heading down to Gwyn. Bolt's going to Bed of Chaos. Final stretch for Hivemind. He can still die very, very easily to Black Knights and to Gwyn. He'll most likely be setting up Arceus. Oh, he probably won't be, actually.
No, I don't think he will. He just doesn't really need it.
Yeah, I suppose. He doesn't really need it. So it looks like Hivemind's heading to the end. Bolt's going to go into boards and do Toki bombs. And, yep. Yeah, he's not going to have RTSR. So Bolt's going to head up to a certain spot. He's probably going to aim, make sure his position's right, backstep, yep. And then he's going to aim up to 2 specific spots. The first one, and then he'll throw a bomb. What's really interesting to me is runners have a lot of different setups for Toki bombs.
Yeah, slightly different.
And he's hit the first one. Let's hope he gets the second one. That might be a little bit high. Oh, he got it. Oh, he got Firestorm, though. Oh, my god! No! Oh, that's a shame. Really nice Toki bombs, but the Firestorm there was...
yeah.
That was a really fast
slight
Firestorm.
delay was just enough for the fire to hit.
That's a pretty large time loss, unfortunately, for Bolt.
Yeah.
But not too bad. Assuming he knows how to... do it casually, he should be okay. Hivemind's entering the final boss fight right now. So he should roll the first attack and then basically perma-stagger Gwyn. Oh!
Ooh, they're just out of the way.
Oh!
Fine.
I'm trying to build tension, Milk. Come on. Okay, very, very, very nice run by Hivemind. Very nice kill there. I tried to build tension, but Milk ruined it, so...
I'm sorry, I cannot lie to people.
So Hivemind's got a 133.47 RTA with his
Nice run.
DT plus 5. Very nice run. A few unfortunate deaths, but it's a race that's always to be expected. Especially in races being kind of one and done. And, anything can happen on anybody's run. Everyone can die. Everyone can lose time. Regardless of how good the player is. So Bolt's heading over to Bed of Chaos through his beautifully aesthetically pleasing lava. And I'm wondering if he's going to go for the. I honestly would personally go for the hidden bonfire, but I don't think he is he? No.
He's going in the direction of the bonfire, yes.
Yeah, so he is. Yeah. I just forgot what it was for a second.
He's like, oh, I see too much. I cannot locate myself here.
Well, I'm used to basically being able to feel my way through this area blind, because I usually can't see. So yeah, this, especially if you miss Toki bombs, bit of chaos can be very, very tricky to do.
You're gonna have to
And
deal with the random firestorm because you don't know when it's gonna happen. It can happen when you're in the middle of the final run towards the boss, and he does not have enough health to survive it. So if he gets the firestorm, the only thing he can do is quit out or find a tiny spot in which there's no fire happening. But that's very tricky. So he might want to just quit out and try it again, and then again, and then again. It can be stuck on that.
yeah, it can be very tricky. And there are quite a few runners who, when they feel Toki bombs in a race, will just forfeit.
Jeez.
Probably not in a tournament, but in like weekly races,
That's
happen.
a bit dramatic.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, especially if you miss Toki bombs, it just feels so bad. It's usually if you miss Toki bombs and then die, you're like, yeah, I'm done with this. Thanks. But there is a certain kind of path that you can take through Bella Chaos, which kind of helps. Usually running forward and triggering or trying to bait out some attacks, and then there's a path you can run off and land on the branch.
Yeah,
But
want
you
to
do have to
avoid
be very quick. You do have to be very, very quick to get this. So, yep. Because Bella Chaos is both the routes to the side have been destroyed, so Bolt's going to bail out this attack. Oh god!
Oh, yeah,
Unfortunately,
that's the problem. The hands are actually independent. I mean, the fire blades are independent from the hands, so they don't have a set timing one for the other,
yep, that's.
and that can happen. Basically, that can happen.
Also, I don't have audio on Bolt stream. Is that just me?
No, it's everyone. It's the audio
Okay.
still on high mind.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
but he'll tap probably. When you all tap,
Oh right. Okay. Yeah. I guess so. Although I thought when you all tabbed during the credits, it still played.
Oh yeah, because it's a video. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be there. So this is a mystery.
This is a mystery. Bolt's just not wanting his audio to be heard. I think he said that he was having. That's why he restarted his game earlier. Was
Oh yeah, he was
game
having
audio
audio
issues?
issues.
Yeah. So
Oh, that might explain the scream as well.
yeah. So that's
You
probably
hear
what
it.
happened.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty rough.
Which is a shame, but it's he's done well, especially with Nito in that. If you don't have audio for Nito, it's very, very scary. But he did really well. He
Yeah,
did
especially
die
when you're at
once.
range, because you're far enough that the entire area is very, very dark. So if you're not close enough, you cannot even see his animations. And
Yep.
the audio, it's the only thing that you have as a reference to know what the Nito's doing.
Yep. Or you just start YOLO spam rolling and hopefully you dodge it.
No, not sure how effective is that.
I don't think it's effective at all, but it'd be very, very scary. So let's see what Bolt does. There is actually a tree on the. You can see when you come down, when Bolt comes down. If you
Yeah,
maybe you
tree
can
on the
see
left
it.
side.
The tree on the left side is actually kind of a safe space from the fire blades. That tree right there on the left, first tree.
Oh,
Firestorm.
Firestorm right off the way.
Very, very nicely dodged by Bolt. Oh, nice block. Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, yeah, you cannot
Unlucky.
block. I think only Great Shields have enough stability to be able to block the hands twice. Normal shields can block one hand, but that's about it.
Well, I'm not sure
The...
if Bolt's going to continue. The bed of chaos. Sorry, well, the bed of chaos casually is kind of brutal.
No.
So he's gonna. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe
I
he's going to
think
get a
he
bunch of
might
hits.
get more health. Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
might get a bunch of health to prevent this.
Yeah, this is the casual strats for Better Chaos, especially like, and it's weird for people to think that if you're a speedrunner or you're speedrunning, something casual could seem very, very alien to you because you never do it. And casual Bed of Chaos is one of them because nobody ever really does casual Bed of Chaos unless they mess up, usually in a race. Because
Yeah,
if you're
it's
doing
funny
it
that the
in
way
attempts, it sort of becomes well, that's a reset. I died. I lost like 6 minutes, or I lost like however many minutes.
yeah.
So it's this isn't very unusual at all for this to happen. I don't think he has a homeward board either, does he? He might need to go and grab. Oh, he does.
No,
He does. Yeah.
that would have been funny though.
Yeah. So I think he's going to go to 99 bit. I really hope he does. That'd be great. Yep,
There
there
we
we go.
go.
Good. I'm not. This might be enough. So
Wait, only 40? Just keep going. Keep going.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, he's getting more endurance so he can block the attacks.
Yeah.
With more stamina.
Oh my! 4 level ups cost like
44?
4
Wait,
million
what is...
souls or something. What is? I'm
Wait,
not
what is
unsure what Bolt's doing.
I'm not sure what he's doing. But I'm intrigued now.
I am intrigued. This is great. Very mysterious.
Is he gonna...
Okay.
Oh, he lost the bonfire now by sitting there.
I'm wondering if he's going to. No, okay. I think he might have messed up.
Yeah, he lost the...
I think he was going to get
now.
the Caduceus shield, the Caduceus shield or whatever it's called. He might have been going to get that. So he has to run down from Daughter of Chaos, which the run is bad, but it's not too bad because the elevator will be working.
Yeah.
So that's something good. Yeah, I think he made a mistake there by resting. But it's fine. We've all done that. I think I even said that earlier, like in the Firelink altar, when you go to place the Lord Vessel and you think to yourself, "Don't rest, and then you rest." Yeah. It always happens.
Yeah, only a limited number of bonfires are warpable, and it actually were less on release. A bunch of bonfires got added on the 105 patch, if I recall correctly.
Sure,
Was...
that sounds right.
It was before the PC version was released. We got the more sane version in that sense.
100%. That's right. Mm-hmm.
Why you don't read the patch notes? Jeez. How can you not know the 2011 patch notes?
I wrote the patch notes
7 years
ago. Also, hivemind got a 128.40 in-game time. That's a good run. That's what was his PB? 127.
Oh yeah. Let me check. His PB was. My monitor is too big. Yeah, he's one. That's really close to his PB. His PB is 127.39, so just a minute behind.
Yeah, that's a good run for hivemind then, being that close to his PB.
Yeah, being close to your PB, it's very good. It shows a bit more consistency, and it means he can beat it pretty soon.
Yes, Bolt can still come back in the losers bracket. So, if for those people who don't know, the tournament is operating on a double elimination. So everyone's in the kind of upper bracket to start with, or the winners bracket, I guess. And round one, I'm not sure what the command is to type in the chat. I can't remember. Probably !DS would probably work.
Yeah, DS should be
and you'll be able to see the brackets there. And yeah, that's the one. Thank you, Milt. Thank you, Mr. Co-commentator. And it's a double elimination, so there's a winner's bracket, a loser's bracket. If you lose, you have a second chance to go through the loser's bracket. But if you lose in the loser's bracket, you are completely eliminated from the tournament. So obviously, you want to stay as long as possible in the winner's bracket because that gives you the most amount of attempts to sort of get to the end of the tournament. And the final is a best of 3, as far as I'm aware. And I think the winner of the winners bracket gets a 1-game advantage in that. So because they've won the winners bracket, they basically start 1-0, which means the loser has to win twice whereas the winner only
Oh,
has
that's
to
not
win
bad.
once.
Yeah, I was thinking how that was going to work without like for the bracket reset. So that's a good system.
I think that's a better system than
Yeah, because
somebody coming through
doing
the losers bracket and then the winner
winning three,
no
winning three, and then
advantage at
oh my
all.
god,
Yeah,
that will be like 9 hour stream. Jeez.
yeah. I think best of three would be really exciting though. Like, so it's really
Maybe
only
we should. Maybe that should be a thing though. A racing endurance tournament in which you have to pick up all the items in the game. So you 6 hour
all the
runs.
items in the game. For God's sake, though.
Of course, the farmable ones as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
endurance racing. Yeah, why not?
Let's just do glitchless all achievements then.
Oh yeah, that
So
that should happen eventually. All achievements race tournament.
yeah, watch like 6 people sign up. Here comes Bolt back to Bed of Chaos. Hopefully he gets it this time. This is going to sound really silly. I assume that Firestorm does more damage if you're wearing the Crown of Dusk.
It should, but I'm not completely sure because sometimes the game treats
Sometimes the game is Dark Souls, so it does
damage.
what it likes.
Yeah, it treats damages in a different way.
Okay, nice dodge on the Firestorm there. Just has to watch out for these attacks. Oh wow, okay. Really?
Oh, he got the
Okay.
jump. Why did you
What?
jump out? Jeez, my
That
heart.
jump was so scary. Okay, it looks like Bolt's gonna be getting through this now. That's a nice recovery. Apart from the resting at the Undead Parish bonfire, that's a really nice recovery. Because, like I said earlier, like dying to Bed of Chaos is literally it's honestly the worst death in this game. I feel
There's several that it makes you run so much, and the problem with the long runs is not just the time loss, but it gives you enough time to regret your mistake. So it feels really bad to the point that you usually do reset a run, even for people that have that are still fighting to get better times and they can still PV. Even when you can just still PV with those really long deaths, it just feels really bad to have it.
yeah.
I
It's very, very
think we all
frustrating.
been there at some point. I'm still there. I can still PV with like 2-3 deaths on my own runs, but it
Yeah.
just feels so terrible having to run all the way back some bosses.
Yeah, Bolt's going to reload the game here to spawn the elevator at the top, which means he doesn't have to wait on it. Not sure if this is faster. RTA. It's probably about the same, to be honest, because the elevator can take a little bit of time.
I think it's also for giving you a more reliable RTSR setup. Now he can keep this setup all the way to the
Oh, that's
boss.
true. That's true. Can he moan glitch? Yeah, he can.
Wait, we talked about this yesterday. Why is he using RTSR? I hope he doesn't use RTSR.
Oh, I hope.
With RTSR, with RTSR and Darkbeat, basically when you one shot with Darkbeat, Priscilla, there is a chance that the game enters an infinite loop that soft locks the game, in which because Priscilla counts as an NPC when she just
She's
talks to
not
you. She's
hostile.
not really a boss. She becomes a boss when you attack her. So killing her at the same time she's becoming an NPC because of the script is made. I remember people were checking on the code a while ago. The check happens after she's dead. So it's like, oh, activate the boss, but the boss is dead. So you enter a loop in which you hear her dying dialogue over and over and over, and there is no way out of it, except for like warping via third-party tools and stuff like that. But there's no way out. The game completely soft locks, and you get because you cannot warp from Painted World bonfire.
Oh yeah, I suppose you couldn't actually. Yeah. I was just trying
You
to think.
can. The only way that the Painted World becomes a warpable bonfire is if you already completed it once.
Yeah.
And you can only warp into, not out of it.
Bolt has Priscilla left. He's going to kill the undead dragon.
The funny thing is that we were talking about this yesterday, and he was like, "Nah, it's not gonna happen."
So moon glitch.
Yes, he's like, "Oh, it's just a racing condition. If it happens, happens." I don't know if he should happen so he gets teach a lesson, or he should not happen
that's
because
not
he
very
doesn't
nice.
deserve it. But he knows what he's getting into. Heal, damn it!
No, don't heal.
Oh my god!
I believe in you. Don't listen to Milt.
I think he should get moon glitch. I think he deserves it.
He's a duck. He doesn't know anything. Do it.
Oh my god!
I believe. I'm so scared.
Okay.
Right Oh, he got it.
Okay,
Yes.
no, it didn't happen. Okay.
But yeah, when I say he got it, I mean he got the boss killed and didn't get it. Sorry.
That would have been so sad. I'm glad he didn't get it. But I think he deserved it. I'm not gonna lie. I think he should have got it.
Miltrovid, you're a horrible, horrible man.
He knows when you cannot gamble like this. Imagine if
Yes,
he
you
was
can.
on the way to win and he's like, "Oh yeah, Monglitch, I lost."
Then he would have the moral victory because the game wasn't fixed. That would be a moral victory. So now Bolt's going to go to Dark Sun Gwendolyn. And this is the final boss for him before Gwyn. Boss number 25 for Bolt. And
Wait, you're not counting the Hydra and the Golden Golem and not Killing Dusk? Those are bosses.
and then the painted guardians, and then the hollow room, and
Anything
then
that can kill you is a boss. So we have like 55 bosses.
yeah, you're right,
unofficial.
You're right, Miltrovid. Pinwheel isn't a boss. This is boss number 24 of the 25, since Pinwheel doesn't count. So yeah, Bolt's just got Gwendolyn. Not too difficult a fight. You can lose a bit of time on it because just because of RNG and how Gwendolyn likes to act. But Bolt should be Bolt's a professional speedrunner. He should be fine.
Wait. He got RTSR for Priscilla, and now he doesn't get it for Gwendolyn.
Are you questioning Bolt? How do you? Well, yeah.
yeah.
Well, he two shots Gwendolyn.
Yeah, he should be fine.
He's going for this. Yep. Oh, unfortunate miss there. A bit late. Yeah.
Yeah, the teleport of Gwendolyn is actually very, very peculiar because I'm not entirely sure how it works, but it's like he disappears and then he actually gets moved back. Sometimes you can hit him even when he's not there anymore.
Yep.
There we go.
And that's one of the problems
on the final stretch
with Gwendolyn losing you a lot of time is if you mess up and Gwendolyn teleports, you have to run back.
Yeah, and it's just it's a very tight timing. Basically, the arrow attack is the only one that gives you like enough time to be sure that you can attack more than once.
He could have got RTSR. Well, he had RTSRs left over from Priscilla. He could have kept it and not taken the bonfire. But
why is he taunting from let the old snake sleep? Jeez.
No, never let him sleep.
Puppets have rights.
Good. I'm glad that Bolt's still showing a bit of humor. That's good. So Bolt's heading down to Gwyn. He doesn't need RTSR for this. I think this is technically a 3-shot. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a 3-shot, and the second is gonna stagger.
Yeah. So he should be fine.
Be super safe.
And this is still it's going to be a sub 2 hours, which considering like restarting the game and these kind of things, and then pausing because of audio issues and.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Even though it didn't mean that you lost that much time. He's like getting RTSR.
He's getting RTSR. Good.
This is gonna be a weird calculation because of the extra health and resistance.
This is look at that. 100% calculated. How dare you doubt? I believe in him. So yeah, Bolt's gonna head down to Gwyn. Hopefully these Black Knights don't troll him. Some of them have some very, very scary attacks that can kill you.
Especially the one on the bridge. There is one hit that if you're not going fast enough, he can hit you when you're well behind him. The hitbox extends quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he can cap your knees.
The thing as well about Bolt getting RTSR is he might not have done this fight without RTSR, so he might not be sure as if what the damage would be. So it's worth it for his own peace of mind to be able to just go, I'll just get RTSR because that's what I know how to do it.
Will be just
as well.
Comply with the muscle memory. Which is what happened before on Sif. Remember when he just barely survived and it just completely took him
by surprise. Yep, and that's it. Like you are a slave to your muscle memory, and in this game. So let's get some. Hopefully, he should get this parry. Consummate professional. Very easy. One shot, boss. Yeah, let's get some fragrancies in the chat. Nice run by Bolt. A bit unfortunate, some time losses, but he recovered well and managed to keep trucking.
I like how the damage keeps counting. And it's done.
That's done. 154.05 by Bolt.
With this, hivemind advances through the winners bracket, and Ball goes into the loser bracket. I think we know. Let me see if we know who he's going to face on the brackets.
Here we go. I've got the brackets here. So Hivemind's going against some German runner. I don't really know.
Supreme Leader.
Kamul, I think. Camel.
No, that's not his name. I'm pretty sure it's Supreme Leader. It's that's on his like.
Is that what it
birth
is?
certificate.
Yeah.
Kamul's just an alias.
Hivemind's playing some runner. He's going to be
some random
German.
German.
And Bolt will be. He's not actually got a matchup yet. He has to wait for a couple of other runs to play out.
Oh yes, yeah. He's on losers round 2 because of the seeding and the number of runners.
Yep, that's it. But yeah, GG to both runners. Entertaining race, actually. I enjoyed it. It was great fun.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. Always fun to commentate with Wolfie. He's such a weird dude. Don't tell him that though.
Get out of here, Duckman.
We have more races today. Actually, we have.
I'm commentating another race later on. Actually,
yeah, you're commentating on the other one too. That's a Dan Flesh versus 2 Red 2 game. It's quite a few hours actually. 4 more hours.
There's Master versus Brimstone first. In 40 minutes, actually. 40 minutes.
Nice. We have another race very soon, so just stay around. Go make.
That's on the main speed gaming channel, by the way.
Lots of cup of tea. Actually, 40 minutes. That's like, I don't know.
Go and get a cup of tea. Go and get something. Drink of water. And be prepared for the next race between Master and Brimstone, which will be on the main speed gaming channel, which is just twitch.tv/speed gaming. And the next run after that is quite later on. I'm not sure what the time is of that, actually. Let's see if I can just quickly grab
It's
that.
8:15 p.m. GMT time. So you make the conversions wherever you live. Unless you're from the US and you don't know how GMT works.
It's 4:15 p.m. EDT, which
that's more confusing. What the hell is EDT?
It's in 4 hours, that race.
Yeah, pretty much. In 4 hours and in 40 minutes, we have another race. So stick around if you want to see more Dark Souls and more people fighting against this lovely game.
Yeah. But I think that's all from us. Do you have anything to add?
Yes. Not really. I just wish 6 FPS was a thing.
Oh, get out of here, Bill. Get out of here. That's it. I'm definitely phoning people to come take you away.
You guys have fun? What?
So yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the race. Props to both runners for performing well.
Take care, everyone. And remember, 40 minutes for the next race. Stick around.
Just remember, 30 FPS.
It's terrible. Yes, we know.
No, it's not. I've been Wolfie, and this has been somebody.
That's the proper pronunciation, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.